we're going to talk about your washing machine. It's something that's really crucial to your life and crucial to keeping people around you happy with some fresh smelling clothing. And doing that requires you use hot and cold water, and usually in abundance. The thing about it is that manufacturers, what they're doing is they're shipping you these machines with really basically pretty cheap rubber hoses. This is an example of what these hoses look like. Most of them, if you read lengthwise along the hose, it says replace every 5 years. The reason is hoses remain under water pressure at all times. That water pressure in most cases is 60 to 80 psi, which is really strong. It's the reason a fire hydrant can shoot water up to the 5th floor. Very strong pressure. If the rubber hose is just like a rubber tire, remain under that pressure at all times, they become really brittle, and just something like a quick strike, maybe you bump into it or hit it with something, could cause that hose to leak. Some insurance companies aren't even writing policies if you don't have what we refer to as no-burst hoses. So we're going to show you how you can switch your hoses out to no-burst hoses and you can sleep easily. This is your steel braided hose right here. Nothing too fancy, but it is a woven steel product. It's flexible, it's durable, it doesn't become brittle over time like the rubber hose here would. Very simple for you to install. The garden hose type threads right here fit right onto the valves here and right onto the back of the machine. But before you go ahead and unscrew a hose, what you're going to want to do is make sure the valve works. Many times companies call, they get a new washing machine, the appliance company comes and makes the delivery. What happens is they can't uninstall because the valve itself has failed. The valves are only used in most cases once every 5 to 10 years, so unfortunately they're often failing when you actually really need them. So go over to your machine here, turn it on to a cycle, mix the temperature between warm and cold, and press start. If it does not fill with water, your valve is working. If your machine is filling with water, the valve is no good. You're going to need to give us a call. Happy to help with that. If you determine that the valve is holding, what you're then going to want to do is very simply unscrew the hose. You can remember the old adage, lefty, loosey, righty, tighty. It applies to everything here. Just be careful if you're working upside down, like on the back of the machine here. Make sure you don't screw it the wrong direction. Always use 2 hands, kind of hold what you're unscrewing so that you don't move anything you shouldn't. Initially you'll see a small spurt of water. That's just the residual pressure that remained inside of the hose. Take that old rubber hose off, and you're going to want to swap that with one of the new steel braided hoses, just like this one here. Get it hand tight, like that. Give it maybe a quarter to a half a turn with a wrench, just for good measure. When you're doing this also, please pay attention to which side is hot and which side is cold. Next step is just to test. Take this lever, flip it back to the on position, check for leaks. No signs of water, you're in good shape. It is always a good idea to move it back to the off position, but quite honestly, with steel braided hoses, you should find that you don't need to. That should get you out of hot water or cold water and having a burst hose problem. Something we strongly recommend that you do. If you have a stackable unit or you don't feel like doing this yourself, we'd love to help you out. We're Boston Standard, the company you count on.